I'm live now. Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute and tell you a little bit about something me and my friends have been doing. It's called Hunt a Killer, and it is a monthly subscription box that puts you in the detective seat. Each month, you receive a new box with new clues, which helps you eliminate a suspect. The best part is you can do this right from your own home. You can play individually or you can play with a group of friends, and that includes online friends. They also have an amazing Facebook group where a lot of Hunt a Killer subscribers are going and sharing ideas and sharing clues and trying to solve the murder. It's tons of fun. The link is in the description below along with the code. Let me show you what came in my box this month. So every month when you get your box, they come in a folder. All of your clues come in a folder. And these are the clues that I received this month. And honestly, it's just like receiving a real case file and thumbing through it. There's so much that comes with this. They do give you a guide where to start, so you're not confused. But these clues are like real. They look like real case files. So you get handwritten letters, evidence, official documents, and everything that you'll need to eliminate one person. So start hunting the killer today. Don't hesitate. You can save 20% off. Promo code J. Again, the link is in the description below. Unleash your inner detective. Happy hunting. Hey, ladies. Do I have Mel and Teresa with me? Good
Hey, Jay, can you
evening.
hear me?
Hey, I can now.
Oh,
Hi.
okay. There I am. I was muted.
Hi, Miss Teresa. Hi, everybody in chat.
Hi, Kim.
Thanks, you guys, for being so patient with us.
Hold on. I got like a an echo. Hold on one sec. I'm gonna get rid of it. There you go. See, now I'm echoing.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching my promo. It's really fun. It is a fun game. The link is actually in the description of this video. If you go to that link, and you can use promo code J. So Mel, are you still there? Mel and
I am.
Oh, yay!
You got me. Okay. Oh, such a good. You received me well because like I needed to hear someone just be happy with hearing my voice today. Like I've been
happy hearing your voice,
homeschooling kids.
Mel, always.
You
Oh my
guys, I'm
gosh.
happy hearing your guys' voices. I'm glad that you guys are all healthy.
This whole homeschool situation, I just feel like everybody I've talked to today has just been legit like irritated with my existence. Like, are you seriously going to make us do a worksheet? Are you going to make us like read a book? Seriously?
Oh, today was
Right
the first day of
Right now?
homeschooling.
Yeah, like
Oh, I forgot
it's
about
not
that.
bedtime. We like to read our books at bedtime. Now you're going to force me to do it like right here in the broad daylight? Yep.
All right, let me tell you a little funny story. I had a dream last night that I had failed something in elementary school, and I was sent back as an adult to go back to complete whatever like I had screwed up, like Billy Madison style. And so I was like this grown woman, like sitting in these little tiny chairs. And like my nieces and nephews were there, but they were like little and they wouldn't talk to me because I wasn't cool enough to talk to. And so I was like this outcast in elementary school in my dream last night.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Were
I think
you
this.
outcasted at homeschool?
That's what homeschooling does to you. Yeah, it
Mm.
makes you an outcast in elementary school again.
Well, I was totally an outcast today. Like that's what happened to me. They outcasted me.
No, that's just
Absolutely.
what happened to me.
That's what happened to her.
That's-
But it sounds like this Rona has gone to all of our brains. We're losing our minds here.
Well, when you don't have that, you have Tiger King, which I think
I
we should go
haven't-
ahead and get that out of the way now.
I haven't finished it.
I don't wanna say
No,
it.
I haven't finished it yet.
No, okay, then we can't talk about it. But
I'm
you've
so
made my
sorry.
life.
Because I haven't finished yet either.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys have made my life difficult. Damn.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
it's all right.
notorious for that though. I'm notorious for starting things and not finishing them. Horrible.
How am I gonna not say something?
I'm horrible. Horrible.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what are we starting with
But
tonight?
at any rate,
Like,
yeah, I wanted to kind of open it up and
because
and
this is
recap from last time.
I think Vanessa's here now. Did you get
Yeah,
on,
I'm
Vanessa?
here.
There you go.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
Last minute screenshotting. Good. How are you?
Great, great. So what I wanted to do was open up the floor to you and Teresa. I want you to talk about what you guys presented last in part 1 and just kind of, you know, give a recap of that. And I know there was a few things that were left out that you guys wanted to bring up. So I want to kind of get all of that tucked away, and then we can start on part 2.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool.
And since it's been a little bit, we were talking about it today. We're just going to go over just a couple of the most important things. But basically, if any of you guys didn't catch part 1, the biggest takeaway I would say from part 1 would be that, you know, despite people saying it was a typo, she absolutely did Google both Shanann and Chris at least 3 times before she started working with him at Anadarko. And we don't know it was just 3 times. It says at least, or there was multiple searches. They don't have all of them listed out. But without a doubt, she did research both Shanann and Chris before she started working with him there, which to us is huge, obviously. And so
I mean, it was huge to his family too,
yeah, and him. I mean, I guess.
and him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most importantly, I think that he wasn't aware. Yeah.
Well, now
Yeah.
let me stop you right there, because I want to ask something to Mel. I don't know if this is something you know or if you can answer, but when Chris was seeing her, did his family know about her?
Absolutely not. And I think there has been a lot of speculation as far as like what was said in the room between Ronnie and Chris. And I thought that you and I had actually discussed this like previous, where I tried to explain like Ronnie didn't know, but he did not come there to give a crap about an affair. He came there because his granddaughters and his daughter-in-law were missing. So if Chris was talking about an affair and, you know, Ronnie seemed unaffected, it was because that just wasn't the forefront. That was not the reason that Ronnie would have been affected. He was like, okay, so there was an affair. Let's, you know, move along. What's next?
See, and
You know,
I have
does that make
always,
sense?
yes, thank you for answering that, because I've always felt
Yeah.
that Ronnie has gotten a really bad rap for, you know, the scrutiny in that video. And I have always seen a man, when I've looked at it from the beginning, when I first saw it, I saw a man who was in complete shock.
Well, and he was sort of told before he went in the room what was about to happen. And so he, you know, he kind of went in knowing, you know, I'm about to be told some things. And so he didn't say, hey, wait a minute, what, an affair? What? You know, because why does that matter?
Right.
His granddaughters, his daughter-in-law, that matters.
Well, I mean, I know that people, you know, to talk a little bit more about that video, I know people, you know, made comments how he rubbed Chris's back and things like that. And I saw just a man who didn't know what to do.
And he was selling a story. I mean, he was giving them a story of what had happened, and this is if this is a story my son is giving me, it's going to be the one that I'm going to want to believe, especially in a room full of investigators that, at least let me hold it together. You know, while investigators are looking at me and me trying to understand like what is even going on, like it's not a time or a place to lose your crap, because the ultimate goal is to find your granddaughters. That's what he flew out to Colorado for, was to find Shanann and the girls, and he didn't lose sight of that. And it kind of sucks that he doesn't get the credit always for the strength that he actually showed in
No, and
doing that.
that's why I wanted to make mention of that. I didn't mean to kind of derail the topic, but I wanted to make mention of that.
No, that's what I'm actually here for. Teresa and Vanessa are so great with the facts. If at any point you need me to chime in and give that perspective, that's what I'm here for. So
Thanks. All right, you guys.
yeah,
Sorry.
of
Go
course.
ahead.
No, no
Oh, no.
worries. I totally think it was definitely a valuable point to make. I think
Me
that,
too.
even for me, like when I very first saw those videos, my interpretation of them was very much like biased into the whole Ronnie had to have known, and Ronnie had to have, he had to have, why was he rubbing his back?
So
And
you came from
Mhm.
that standpoint. That's
oh,
interesting. Yeah.
and as I've just done more research and more, digging into discovery and realizing that this Chris wasn't who we thought he was when this first happened. Like he wasn't the nice guy that everybody thought of. So Ronnie didn't know what to do. Like I'm trying to think of myself in Ronnie's
Oh
shoes
my
and going,
gosh. Me
like,
too.
I like, this is my kid. Like,
It's your
what in the heck?
kid.
Like,
And you're
what in the heck
gonna,
is happening
and your
here?
first instinct is gonna be to believe your kid.
Right.
You're
Right.
gonna
We talked about that
believe your
today.
kid and you're gonna hear him out, until that sinks in, and then, you process everything you just heard. I mean, this man had to not only process that his granddaughters are dead, his daughter-in-law's dead, but his son's telling him that his daughter-in-law did it. And he's having an affair, and he's got all this stuff, all this information. And I'm
Well, everything in your body wants to
protect you
believe
and it
that he's
protects
telling
you.
you the truth.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
it's
And,
Total
totally
defense
understandable.
mechanism.
And to give him any kind of scrutiny for that video, I think is 100% BS. I just wanted to get that out there. That's my opinion.
No,
hallelujah.
I agree. And Teresa brought up a good point too, because Teresa and I have been in the same group. So like a big group of us have been in the same group since the beginning. And in the beginning, the emotions were so high, and everybody, I mean, you remember that time, everybody was so
Oh yeah.
just crazy about it, that I was guilty of it too. I mean, I was making snap judgments, and
Yep.
they were pretty much vilified. And
Yep.
now that some time has passed, I think, you can step back and look at things a little more objectively. I've found a lot of my opinions have changed.
And
Trying to
that's
think
an
about things
interesting point,
logically.
Vanessa, because I feel like I look at things differently now.
Hmm.
Like I
Even
learned
just
from
in
that.
life.
I learned to jumping to that conclusion, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I was all in the same boat with you. I mean, I've admitted it several times, in the beginning, I believed Chris's story because that was all we had. We didn't have anything else to go on. So that was the theory that I went with. And
Well,
I
it
mean,
was
of
weird.
course, I don't believe that now, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking, right when it happened.
Well, it was almost like you had to pick a side, and which everyone did, and it was weird. It was like pick a side, and then you didn't really think about anything other than what that was. And I think that's changed a little bit. There's not like sides anymore. It's just getting to the facts,
Mm.
and it's not that black and white. You can obviously, I mean, our heart breaks for what happened, and but at the same time, I used to have basically what I'm saying is I had a closed mind. I wouldn't think about anything outside of my little box. And it
Mhm.
kind of keeps you from getting more information in some ways, because you don't want to
Yes.
think about
You're not open
anything
to
else.
anything, any other
Right.
theories and ideas, right? And that's when people
Exactly.
start arguing. That's why everybody was
Exactly.
so vile. They were either on one side or the other, and it was insane. Like I left my own group.
Believe it or not, I left my own group. I couldn't even stand reading it anymore. It got so bad.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was really bad.
We were in that group, Jay.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
I
were you
believe it.
guys?
That's what
We were members of that group at that time. Yeah.
I didn't know that. From the beginning?
Hmm.
Wow.
I joined, I think it
Yeah.
was around October.
Okay.
Maybe end of September, beginning of October.
So you
It was actually
noticed probably then that I wasn't all that active in that group.
You weren't very active, and I
Mm-mm.
actually I listened to like all the murder rap sesh and all that, old school stuff. I was around when you guys were doing all of
Mhm.
that, and I mean, I thought it was, it drew
I
me in.
loved it at the time. I did. I loved it at the time.
You guys were very good at it. So it was something. It was the first true crime group that I ever joined that was case specific. Like I was in a lot of crime groups, but they weren't like about a particular case. It was the very first group I ever joined.
Wow. And
Yeah, so I
that was,
remember.
yeah, that grew quick too. So I don't remember you guys from there. I apologize. It's just because I wasn't
Don't
real
even worry
active.
about it. I don't think I was very active at first because I was like, what am I
You're
getting
probably
myself
scared.
into? I was like,
Right?
wait. But I tried to, one thing I could say about the group in general is I tried to see everything from all these different angles, but it almost, because you were fighting so hard for your own beliefs, it like ingrained
Mhm.
those beliefs like into you.
Yeah.
And I think it
Right.
happened on the other side too. And I think that's where those like, Team Watts, Team Ruzick things came from. And it's like, wow, like, can't we just be team like Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico? Because that's truly what happened. And
Right.
now later, I think we all stick with the case because I think we talked about this last time too, but we all stick with the case because there's something about it we can't let go of. And until we fulfill those answers, I don't think we can fully move on.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
let me just tell you, in my gut, I feel like this isn't over. That's
I
just,
agree.
We don't
that's just
either.
like, that's just the feeling I get. And I don't know. And there's a reason why this is captivating us still to this day.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's not
And I
because
just-
there's resolution.
Yep. I totally agree. And I just saw a comment in chat I want to address just though really quick because it comes up all the time and drives us crazy. And I think there's a misconception. Because we've been making the videos we have and we think it's not closed, it doesn't mean that we don't think that Chris is not guilty of anything. It
Mm.
doesn't mean it's not one or the other. Again, it's not that black and white mentality. Just because
There's
someone
more
is
to
guilty
it, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
There's more to it.
exactly.
And we don't know
Exactly.
if it goes beyond her. Who knows? You know,
Exactly.
you guys aren't saying it stops with her. Yeah, I think that's good to get that point across because people can misconstrue, your motivations. And I think it's good to explain that.
But the whole point of this is that we all have different perspectives. And so it's sort of a back and forth of, you believe this way, prove me different. And that's kind of what started the whole thing that, we were talking about last week. So that's what provokes the conversation. If we all believed the same way, this would go very differently in
Sure.
those terms. But like that's what makes it so interesting to me, anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, you guys. I'm sorry. I keep derailing your
Oh no, that's
recap.
okay. It's so easy there's so much to talk about.
Well, no, I love it because that's what we're doing. We're going deep. So,
Yes. Well, just I guess the only thing with the Google searches was just that I find it impossible to believe that. So we see with our own eyes that she Googles them and looks them up for a year before they died. But we're supposed to believe that she didn't look them up at all while they're hooking up, while they're in an intimate relationship. So she takes the time to look them up before, but yet, if you believe she didn't really search them while they're actually having sex, that's to me not believable.
mm-hmm. I agree.
And a lot of people say that, well, you don't know she she was looking them up long before that they were ever in a relationship. Of course she was. And we know that she was looking them up during and afterwards. So, I mean, to me, that's obvious that she would be looking at their social media while they were in a relationship. It's basically the biggest thing that's our point about the Google searches.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then, which kind of leads us into, and I sent you this, I don't know if it was in time, but Shinian made the
Mhm.
did the pregnancy video on May 29th, but she didn't post it publicly to Facebook or post anything about the pregnancy until June 10th. But starting June 10th and 11th, she had public posts announcing that she was pregnant.
Yeah, do you want me to play the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull that up. All right, here we go.
Did Vanessa just say she's in love with Prepper?
What?
That's what the chat says from Prepper. Prepper says, did Vanessa just say she's in love with Prepper?
Oh no. I think Prepper's married. Oh, here we go.
I think Vanessa is too.
YouTube marriage.
Did it start?
Mhm.
Oh. No.
Did you say YouTube marriage? Like prison marriage? Oh my gosh.
I like that
I hope
shit.
I have volume on this.
Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is
Well,
gonna
it
be
had
girls.
volume when I sent it to you.
Just the test.
That's awesome. Guess when you want to, it happens.
All right. All right, you guys there?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not.
That's hard to watch, man.
Turkey.
I haven't watched that in a long time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's really kind of tough to watch.
That's how it is with a lot of these videos. I go back and it's I don't know, I guess when you step away from it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to forget those. And I don't know, especially the one where the girls are finding out that they're having another baby. That one really gets me. That one's really sad.
Me too. And the last time I watched these, honestly, was, when it all was released. I haven't really gone back and rewatched it. And watching it from my perspective now is totally different than how it was when I originally watched those. I look at it from a totally different way.
It's totally the same.
Yeah.
One thing I was telling Vanessa today was like putting some of these details together and you see what like Shanann and the girls are doing. And at the same time, you see what Chris is doing. And you'll see a couple of those examples. They come up and it's really sad, like how happy and excited and all the plans and stuff that are happening on one side while the other one is going a totally different direction.
It's
putting
eerie,
those side
isn't
by
it?
side, it was like, so Vanessa, I'm like, this actually makes me really sad again. Like to know that this is how she's feeling all excited. And then he's like, oh, here,
Oh
hey,
my
and
God, it's so eerie. So I have the screenshot from June 10th, 2018, with the Big Sister 101. I'm going to put that up on the screen now.
That one's sad too.
Yeah, because you know that those girls were excited. Mel.
Yeah.
Mel. She here?
No, where'd you go?
Where'd she go?
Let's go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna ask her if like the Watts have shared with her like when they shared the news with them that they were expecting. Like I've never heard I've never heard that story if there was one.
I'm trying to think back. I mean, I want to say that it was shared, fairly early on, and then I've never heard the story about when it was initially shared. I know the story of when they, when Chris and Shanann and the girls flew back to Colorado, and there was the ultrasound picture. And so I'm not sure how they actually called. I don't know if anybody knows that exactly.
Oh, could you find out? I would love
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know that.
I could find out. I know that once they got back to Colorado, Chris
I mean,
and Shanann and the girls, that when Chris and Shanann went and had the ultrasound done, that the first time that Ronnie and Cindy had heard from Shanann since the whole Nutgate fiasco was with the ultrasound picture of,
I guess I'm just
of
curious, did
the,
they like, because she tagged her parents, were his parents on Facebook at that time? And, they weren't. They
I,
weren't tagged,
I
so
don't,
I was just kind of curious.
yeah, that's kind of a detail that I can't really go back in my brain and remember
Yeah, if you
exactly,
could
but I
find
do
out,
know that,
that would be interesting to
yeah,
know, actually.
yeah, absolutely. I can. Mhm.
Thanks. All right. So yeah,
Sure.
it's a shame because especially little Bella, that she was excited to be a big sister, because she seemed very smart and
Yeah.
intuitive, and like she was a little mother to Cece, and I mean you can
They
imagine.
both had such great like qualities. Just, I mean,
Yeah,
just one
for
of them
being
being
little
so
kids.
for being little kids, yeah, like just one being so mothering and so like almost old and wise in her own little,
Yeah,
mind,
it's
and then the other
it's
one just a firecracker, like,
you can almost see
beyond
what they
belief.
would have been as adults. You can almost see what their
Absolutely.
personalities would have been as adults and the roles they would have played, in their little family there.
And I mean,
There
as
was
sad as
one
it
thing I
is,
wanted to make. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mel.
no, I was just gonna say, they both were reflections of personalities of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And, if what had not happened, it I think we could have seen what traits they would have taken away. Of course, take away anything evil that was brought into it, but they would have both received those qualities. Like, because it's not a bad thing to be somewhat reserved, and because I can be like that, and it's
Right.
also a great quality to just be a little, firecracker, and to be the kind of person who just says what you think as it comes to your brain, which I don't actually have that
They're
quality.
all great qualities. They are. They're all great qualities, and it's just what works in that person.
And
It's
they
crazy though.
had
It's
the best
I've
of both, right?
They do. And the one thing that really kind of always amazes me is how like all of us have gotten to know these people through this case, right? I mean, we watch shows about little kids going missing and being murdered. It happens all the time. But I know for myself, these are the only two little kids that I feel like I know them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? There's a different like attachment there or connection with this case for me. And I don't know
I
if
think
everybody
we're
else
seeing it
feels
a
that
lot.
way or what.
Yeah,
I want to
definitely.
I want to I want to say this. Like, we're seeing this a lot lately, where it's very difficult to just put aside the fact that you are able to emotionally connect with a child, because we're in a different day and age. And so we're given so much more on social media than we were 5, 10 years ago.
Hmm.
So we see so much more of a child that has been taken from this earth, like, early. And so it's easy to connect with those types of things. So it's almost impossible to take emotion out of the equation, given the fact
Well,
that there's so
especially
much
Mel
more
with
there.
all of the videos and photos that Shanann
Right.
had. I mean, what a wonderful memorial she left behind for these kids, honestly. Um
Right.
I've never seen anything like it. I've seen, like I said, I've followed a lot of cases that involve kids, and I've never seen so much documented of their
Well, I
lives
mean,
and
across the
shown to the
board.
world.
Yeah. And across the board. I mean, there's so much documentation of their lives, and the girls were no, I mean, they were tenfold. It was always videos of the girls, and then of course of Thrive. But um, yeah, there's so much there to look at. It's hard not to
Yeah.
get
I think
invested and fall in love.
yeah, and that was what was did it for me. I know, and I'm sure most other people, is all the videos and that she had, you get to know them. But plus, in addition to that, it was the body cams, because you see it from Nicole calling 911 for the welfare check all the way through till his second interview with investigators last March. It's kind of like you are watching the whole thing from, literally beginning to end and seeing the videos. It did make people really emotionally attached.
Hmm. It's
I think for me,
heartbreaking.
it's the fact that I can hear their voices. Like I know
Hmm.
what they sound like. I know what their quirky little like personalities were.
Yeah.
It all came through in those videos. So it is much more than any other case where you see where kids go missing or anything happens to them. And one of the things that like got me really attached to like Kaylee Anthony was the little video of her singing like "You Are My
Uh-huh.
Sunshine,"
Yeah.
and it was her voice and you could see her little
It
personality.
makes
And
it
then
so real.
and then you
Hmm.
have Bella and Cece, and it's like it's 100-fold that. So I mean,
I mean, you
I don't know how
literally watch them grow up in those videos.
right. You did. You
Hmm.
saw Bella finally getting her hair where she could put her clips in,
Yeah, we
and
may as well have been a long distant relative watching on social media them grow up. I mean,
right.
that's what it was.
Well,
It's
I think
insane.
honestly, if I have to be honest, I feel like that you can be team this, team that. But the bottom line is that both of these little girls were the best of both families, the very best of both families. And I think that is super important. Like I know when me and my husband kind of look, at our children, we always think, oh my gosh, like the kids got the best of both of us.
Hmm.
Like it's no different here. Like they're the best of both of the families. And that's that just almost makes me want to just cry. That's
Heartbreaking.
All right,
it
we
is.
went way deep.
Yeah.
We went way deep in emotions.
Okay, we're lost.
I went
Let's
okay.
go back. Let's go back.
Okay. So
There we are.
we were on the pregnancy.
Yeah.
I have another picture of them on the beach. This was do you want me to pull that one up? San Diego.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Oh, we weren't there yet, right?
yeah, we're not there yet. I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
we're
it's
almost there.
okay.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just say the word. Go ahead, ladies.
Well, I don't know. The only other thing I think about the pregnancy just is that something that I think people forget is in the discovery, it talks about how a lot of their coworkers actually had mutual friends on Facebook with Shanann, or their wives were friends with Shanann. So when she made the announcement and he went to work, they were talking about in the interviews how they were openly like congratulating him in the break room. And there was a lot of talk about it at work, not just on social media.
So basically, she may have heard at work.
I just wouldn't see how between those two things.
Now, do we know? This is what I've always tried to picture them at work. So where her desk was, or wherever she was that? Can you explain? Because I remember it being said that he went into the break room, or he would see her going to get coffee. I don't know what it was. Do you guys know the details of that? Like how they were positioned to see each other? Did they see each other every day? Was it somewhere he had to walk past? Do you know that?
My impression was that he was, in and out to the field, and that when he got promoted, I think it was February, he was in the, in and out of the field more, but that she had her own office, but that it kind of sounded to me, and this is just my interpretation, that she made it a point to go into the break room. So, he would see her. They mentioned that a couple of times in Discovery in the mornings daily.
Okay.
And then
Right.
safety
And
meetings.
there was a few coworkers that made comments about how she would always come into the break room and
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
when he was in there, and so she would have. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, and they saw them talking, I guess, really, really close back as far as, April. So
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, right. And I'm not saying that there's anything. Maybe it was just a flirtation at that point, but they did have
Probably.
witnesses. Yeah,
Probably, because I think that those emails sent, the original emails that are on the work system, I think those are genuine. I really think that I feel like that's where like the whole meeting started. Do you?
Well, I think that they were
it might have
flirting.
been.
Go ahead, Vanessa.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think they're. I think they were maybe genuine on his part, but if you think about it, she already knew all of the stuff about him. She already knew he was married, his kids' names, his kids. So I don't know how genuine it was on her part, maybe.
Right. No, what I meant by genuine was like legit. Like that was legit. Like they didn't set that up. Like there's not any conspiracy behind when they started emailing is what I meant. Like we heard they were flirting in April. What I'm saying is I think they legitimately started emailing when we see those emails come through in work, and then they switched to the phones, the personal phones. Like I think that's all
Yeah.
legitimate. I'm just saying none of that is fabricated. I've heard people throw things around that, this was planned and that they've known
Right.
each other
Yeah.
for longer, and this was,
Right.
these emails were all set up in sequence.
I've heard that. I agree with you. I don't think it is. I think that you see on that same email chain, like you see her sending like an email out, I think it's around the 5th. And she sends the email out to all the guys in the field about some of the equipment. And he responds back to, on his own, like not like a mass reply, but just to her. And he says something like, "Thanks a lot and have a great day, Nikki." And then she actually responds to that same email chain on the 12th to just him and says, "Thank you for being honest with me," which is the coincidence of that. What was he being honest about? And then you have the 10th and the 11th, where she's posting the photos of the pregnancy. And then you have the videos of the pregnancy. And now on the 12th, she's emailing him saying, "Thank you for being honest with me." What else would there be that could come up? And he's like, "I'll always be honest with you. I don't play games, blah, blah, blah," and all this stuff. And then the reason I agree with you too is because he doesn't actually add her work phone number and her personal number to his work phone until after that email exchange. So I don't think it was set up to like say, "Hey, like here you can, let's fake the emails so that people don't think we're dating."
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. And I mean, so many people say, "Oh, well, she probably deleted everything because, she was embarrassed, or because, well, her excuse was she was mad, but that she was embarrassed, or because it looked bad, or whatever." But bottom line is, it did look bad, because if you walk through it, say you're her with the investigators. Tracy and I were talking about this today, and it kind of hit us again. It's like she's talking to investigators, and she's like, "Well, here's the truth. I was Googling them, well, Chris and his wife, for 8 months before I started working there. Then I happened to get a job with him where I see him every day, the same place, where now we have daily contact." Then she immediately pursues a relationship with him. And 2 months later, they're all dead. So, I mean, it does sound bad, and it does look bad. And there's kind of a reason for that, because it's not like they were
Because
working
it is
together for
bad.
2 years. Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest pieces too, is how that whole thing started, how she became aware of him in the first place.
Yeah. That's a big part of part 1.
Yeah.
I hear somebody's dog snoring.
Not mine.
Not mine.
What kind of dog do you have? That's hilarious.
It's not mine. I don't know.
Oh, is that Mel snoring?
Mel, do you have a dog?
No.
Oh shit!
Is it me?
Oh my god!
Snoring.
Tell me that I'm not the only one that heard that, please.
I don't have any
No,
dogs by me, so
Come on, chat, help me out here, because I know I wasn't hearing things.
I had y'all on
Straight
mute
up,
because
see?
I'm eating
Read
cheese
chat.
and crackers.
Read chat. I'm not the only one.
I didn't hear anything.
Wait a minute.
Weird.
Nope.
Heard nothing? Whoa.
Oh, do we need to do this another day? Are you hearing things?
Okay, no, Sammy C heard
Here
it.
to say.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Sammy.
He's got your back, Jay.
Sammy's got my back. All right, sorry.
Is she the one? She's got your back?
Yeah, she heard it.
Wow.
I thought maybe it was Mel. I'm like, is Mel awake?
Wait, somebody heard me
was Mel.
eating she's lying. She's not telling. She
Oh my
said heard
God.
Mel eating cheese. No, you did not.
Oh my
Right,
god.
so we look at the emails. I don't know if you had a chance to upload any of those other photos.
I have them all. Yeah, what do you want?
Um,
I don't,
let me
I
go
didn't
through because
get.
we got the videos.
All
On the
I wanted was
14th
a back rub.
Yeah, on the 14th, you've got so there should be a photo of like Bella laying on Shanann's belly. You have that one? I don't have the
hold on.
stream up, so I don't know what you're posting.
Scrolling through right now.
I should probably put the stream up so I can actually see what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't have it up on screen yet. I am. What date? The 15th?
Yeah, it's just a picture of Bella laying on Shanann's belly, and it says, maybe that's not the right one. Maybe I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah,
Don't worry about me.
I don't.
I'm on the wrong. I think
What are you
I'm on the
looking
wrong
for?
day. Maybe it was me snoring. Apparently,
No,
no, that's
that's
the
right.
video. No, it's the video of that Shanann posted, and I don't think we sent that one. Was the video that Shanann posted of Bella saying that there's 5 babies in her belly?
Oh yeah. When she says you're gonna have a sister or whatever, and yeah.
Well, how many babies does mommy have in her belly? And Bella's like,
Yeah.
you have 5, and they're like, what? And then the reason I wanted to talk about this date was because it's on the June 14th. She posted that video of Bella saying that she has 5 babies in her belly. There's another video of Bella singing that I'm sure almost everybody knows that's followed the case, and it's Bella singing "My Daddy Is a Hero."
Yeah.
We've all seen that.
Yeah, and then
That one's so sad.
the reason I bring it up is because this is one of those. So you see, Shanann's posting videos of Bella excited about the baby, saying her daddy's a hero, and then this is the same day that Chris is adding, NK's phone number to his work phone. So you see one side of the story, and then you see what he's doing on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And these all kind of go together with the fact that she's saying that she did not know that Shanann was pregnant, and so you're going to start to see as we go through the photos, knowing that she was searching their Facebooks, a bunch of photos that Shanann talks about being pregnant. So you've got that video of Bella talking about having 5 babies in her belly, and then now you're like, all I wanted was a back rub. I think you have that photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I
And
think
there's the one about. Yeah.
There's one on the beach in San Diego as well. Is that at the same time?
Yeah, that comes up in just a little bit too.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it's still in June, June-ish, where there's a whole bunch of just posts about her being pregnant, how she feels being pregnant, excited about baby Watts number 3. And then towards the end of
And
June,
baby wants Panera.
Baby wants Panera. So it's just kind of to show, like, here's all the posts that Shanann was putting up, talking about her pregnancy and talking about baby Watts. So for the theories that, Chris told her it was somebody else's kid, and, or, all that kind of stuff, it shows like she's posting about baby Watts, and she's posting screenshots from him saying that I love him or her already.
Mm-hmm. Right. Those are all public, and they're almost daily throughout the entire
She was
time.
excited. Yeah.
She was very excited, and you can see that he's responding saying, like, was there 5 babies in your belly, on that text message, and then she's, sends the ultrasound pic, and it's not, he's saying I love him or her already. This is into June now. He's already got her, Nicole, or NK's phone numbers put into his phone. We don't know what their relationship is progressing quite yet, but here she is going to these ultrasounds. There is no way that this is like that she's not seeing these posts when she's searching their Facebooks, which we know from Discovery she does.
Right.
It's almost ridiculous to think that she didn't know.
That's how I feel.
Right.
It's almost like it's almost insulting. Right.
Right.
Yeah. She really. I feel like the approach she takes with investigators is just assuming that, everyone is stupid, and we're just going to believe stuff that doesn't. It just doesn't. A lot of the stuff doesn't add up.
This other screenshot you sent me, this one's really kind of sad too. The Father's Day one. Are we ready for that, or are we still?
Yeah, you put it up. Yeah, it's all inclusive.
Okay, so she writes, Chris, we are so incredibly blessed to have you. You do so much every day for us and take such great care of us. You are the reason I was brave enough to agree to number 3 with a laughing face. From laundry to kids' showers, you are incredible, and we are so lucky to have you in our life. Happy Father's Day. And there's a collage of pictures of him and the kids.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one
And
is really sad.
she posts a really since it's Father's Day, she posts a really nice post about her own dad, and then she posts another post about Ronnie, and just like how wonderful everybody is and what great dads they are and role models and best friends. And I mean, it's like a really you can see a really tight family unit around this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
And
I think she's feeling hopeful. You know, she's pregnant and she wants to have a boy and she's excited, and I think she's feeling hopeful. I mean, every time there's something new happening, you know, people get like this renewed, most of the time, get this renewed hope in something that, you know, maybe, you know, going stagnant or, you know, you know how it is being married and you get in your daily grind and something new happens. So it's exciting.
You have a new thing to share with this person that you love so much. It's like, oh, I have all these pictures of baby stuff, and here's how excited the girls are. And you know, we both love the girls so much. And yeah, you see a happy family, even in the background, because a lot of people will say, well, yeah, you see that on Facebook, but even in the background, you see, you know, that's his text to her. I don't think you probably pulled that up yet. Once again, like I said, you're probably jumping ahead.
No, you're fine.
Going to the wrong dates.
Well, I mean, before you leave Father's Day, when we were talking about Father's Day, just as a reference point, when NK is talking to investigators, she says that that's when she found out that he was married and that he had kids, was right around that date.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which
I did pull up the text from him with the ultrasound.
Yay, now I'm on the same spot.
Yeah, and he says, "Little Peanut, love him already."
Yeah.
And we know that was him because this is a text message, not a Facebook post.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like as a whole, you're seeing the comments from him to her that aren't necessarily meant to be all over Facebook, but you see them. You see that they
You see what he was saying to her in the frame of mind that she was in, and the feedback she was getting from him was not negative by any means.
Right. So now you're a mistress that's Googling them and looking at this Facebook. Are you seeing a family that's splitting up?
No.
Right.
Mm-mm.
And that ultrasound is on June 19th, and we'll have a little more on that later because that is actually important. But on that day, on June 19th, she goes the first ultrasound. He misses it because, as she says on her Facebook post, he's hiding from tornadoes, and he misses it, and Bella goes instead. And so, unbeknownst to Chris, Shanann frames this pic and puts it on the bedside dresser, but that comes into play later. But that's the picture.
Now, I had a thought in my head and I lost it. What did you first say before the picture thing about his text? He said, "Little Peanut, love him already." And then you were saying, you know, it shows you what frame of mind she was in. I'm trying to jog. I had a question for you guys and now I can't remember.
Oh, when I said, like, now think about that you're the mistress and you're looking at this.
Oh,
yeah. And are you seeing a family that's breaking up? Because, you know, according to her notes,
thank you.
Splitting up.
Thank you. You jogged my memory. So, do we know what date Chris told NK that he was divorcing?
We do.
Separating.
The 26th
of June?
Correct.
And do we know like how long he said he had been in the process? Like, do we know, like, did he give her a time frame? Like, oh, I've been separated from her for 2 months. I've been in the basement for 2 months. Like, did he say?
Correct. Yes, you're right. About 2 months, because they hadn't been intimate since, I think he told her, Vanessa, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he told her March, April, because it goes along with this whole weird everything in this case, like happened March, April, like, you know, Trent's relationship ends, NK starts at Anadarko, he stopped, you know, being intimate with his wife, and that's when he decided to split up. Yeah, so March, April, he
So
said was the
he's
last
telling
time they were
her, okay, yeah, there's been some time. I was already separated. So he's not making it look like, oh, I'm separating from her because of you. This was already something that was happening, is what he's telling NK.
Well, this is what we're hearing from NK. So is it accurate?
Mm.
We don't know,
Right.
because
But
then
that's
she
all we
puts out,
know. Yeah.
right, when she puts out in her notes, she says the first time that he told her they were separating. So her interviews say last time they were intimate was March, April-ish. And then in her September 4th note that she turns into the detectives, she specifically notes that on the 26th of June, he said they were splitting up. Mind you, they've already had whatever types of communication they've had. He already was on the phone with her prior, because he added her phone number on the 14th to his work phone.
But also, though, she slips up later and she changes the date on one of her last interviews with Kobach. She actually changes it to August, or she says that he tells her while he's in North Carolina, actually. So she is constantly changing her story, so it's hard to pin down anything.
I just wondered about that. I thought it was like he said, I've been separated for a couple months. So I'm just trying to put myself in NK's head. Like, in June, she supposedly finds out that this man, oh, he's leaving his wife anyway. Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it from all angles.
Right. No, I agree. I do too. That's why I said if you look at these Facebook posts as NK, do you see a family that's splitting up, or do you see, they got back from their trip on the 26th. He just got back from San Diego. If she had looked at Shanann's Facebook, she just saw all those pictures you have of Shanann and Chris together, and they don't look separated to me.
Or like they're fighting or anything. They're very lovey-dovey pictures.
And how do you not look like what is she, 10 years younger than me? And, how do you not look? Like, even 10 years later, like, the technology has definitely advanced. Like, Facebook is way bigger amongst people who are 10 years younger than me.
Again, I think it's very insulting to think that she didn't look.
Right.
As women, I mean, when we love, we love deeply. And
You
when
want to
we
know.
fall, we fall hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You want to know.
And you're not going to just believe him. You're going to want proof.
And you're going to want to see like what his wife looks like, what his family looks like,
I think my point is that she would have known sort of, ways to search these things out way more than I would have known, even, now.
You think
being
that she's
younger.
she's more technologically savvy?
Being younger.
Absolutely.
She would have been like, yeah.
Obviously, she's got something because
she
she was able to scrub all of her social media.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All her shit was scrubbed. I mean, everything. You couldn't find anything about her.
No. And that's
so
crazy,
who did that? Who did that so fast?
Yeah. How could I even do that myself? Like, it would take forever.
I don't think you can ever make it go away unless you actually have someone scrub who knows how to do it. Because honestly, once your stuff
to that link.
That's what I'm saying. And they went to it very quickly. If you remember, go ahead. I want to hear him.
No, I don't want to jump too far ahead because I think that'll end up being, later on once we get to like, all of her fun stuff after after that weekend. But I think that there's some phone calls on her call log that were not existent before to this person, and now this person has a background in. I'd have to look at exactly what the job title is, but it's technology, the type that would erase any type of history. And those phone calls are pretty much immediately after that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's somebody she had not talked to prior.
Interesting. Yeah, I always thought like a professional person had to have scrubbed all that social media and the pictures. I mean, anything. You put her name in and you got nothing on the real her. So I don't think that was something that she just went in and deactivated her Twitter and her Instagram and her Facebook. It goes deeper than that because even when your Facebook's gone, you Google image, you could still find it. And there
Right.
was nothing.
She wiped herself pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even. Someone
Ironically.
just said in chat, "Where's her photos from high school?" Nothing. There's
We're her
nothing.
friends from high school.
Her friends. It's like, yeah, it's like her whole life was just wiped. No one's ever come out of the woodwork. It's just so weird.
Very. Mm-hmm. And we talked about that last time. Like, where's all these people that care about her and think she's a wonderful human being? Where are they?
Yeah, why did no one ever speak out on her behalf to say, you know what? I can attest to her. You know, I can attest to the kind of person she is, or
Yep.
anything.
Or
It's
even
so
her
crazy when
ex-boyfriend
you look
saying
at
that
it
she's
that
crazy.
way.
What's that?
Like, where's her
Sean?
exes? Yeah, where's Sean? Where's her exes saying like, hey, she's lying? She went out and said that her ex was abusive to her.
Well,
This person doesn't even come forward and say,
in all
this girl's
fairness,
crazy.
if I was Sean,
Yeah,
I
would
don't-
hide.
I don't think I'd want to come out because
Well,
everybody would have that question.
Which one?
Did you?
Oh, I
You
knew
know
what
which
you were gonna
one.
say, and I'm
You
like
know
trying
which
not to
one.
say it.
I'm not gonna say it, but you
I'm not
know,
gonna say it either.
you know what I'm talking about. Poor Sean would be. Oh my God,
Poor Sean. Poor
Sean, if you're listening, if somehow you hear this, Sean, I would love to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
There are YouTube
And
videos. Sean.
You don't
won't
have-
ask the question.
You don't have to show your face, and I won't ask that question. I'll leave that
Leave
question
Sean
out.
alone.
You're safe
Leave
here.
him alone.
Leave Sean alone.
And we know why. That's all I gotta say.
We know.
Yeah.
So
we
what
know
happened? What
why.
happened to Charlotte? Charlotte was a big person she told about Chris. What happened to her?
Well, she deleted all the pictures and all the text messages because NK told her to.
Oh God.
So when she talked to the detective, she said, I only have the last few days or whatever because, Nikki told me to erase everything, or NK told me to erase
Doesn't-
everything. So
Doesn't
hold
she
up.
come from money?
Hold up.
I mean, doesn't she come from a?
If I can highlight a comment in chat, if I could do that right now,
I know which one you're gonna
there's-
do.
there's one. I'm sorry, I have to stop to read this comment. So it's Jolie Lady. Why isn't Sean online giving us the scoop on her pumpkin? That's the
Oh my God.
question of the day, Jolie.
that's the question of the day.
Oh my God.
And she says that Charlotte is at a meeting for Codependent Anonymous. Jolie,
thought it was gonna-
you're fucking funny, man.
I thought that was gonna be the comment that said, "Ooh, I'm eating."
Oh no, I
We
saw
ruined
that one
somebody's
too.
No, I think maybe he's a gentleman, and he had his reasons, and she
I'm
knows
sure he
why.
had his reason.
Like maybe
I'm
it's
sure he
not.
had his
Maybe
reason.
it's not. Maybe it's not him that needs to be worried.
I didn't think it was
All right.
him. I thought it was a. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
over
Jolie!
my head.
Look at Jolie. Okay, but yeah, I mean, I understand why Sean didn't come forward, but like Charlotte and then her friend, what's the dude that was there that morning that came to her house?
Jimbo?
Oh yeah,
Jim
Jim.
alone?
Yeah, leave Jim alone. Jimbo.
Mhm.
And you know she had to have some girlfriends. I know she's got sisters.
She has one sister and a couple stepsisters.
So what do they think? You know, it's like I just don't get it. I don't see what the harm would be in just coming out and saying, "Oh my God, okay, a year has passed. I fucked up. This is what happened."
Right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just mute. It's bizarre. It's really
That
bizarre.
makes it more intriguing on the fact of why doesn't she?
Right, and no
What
one knows where
happened?
she's at. It's just like weird.
Yeah, like what happened? What's the real story about their investigation to her?
Hmm?
What was the real
Mhm.
offer on the table with her? What
Mhm.
information did she provide that we're not privy to?
Yeah. I can compare this to something in my life, okay? So let's compare this to like Oni, right? Oni says, I didn't do any of this. I didn't do any of this. Blah, 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 blah. But where is he? He's not on YouTube. Why not? If you didn't do it, why are you running?
Where'd you go?
I got to kind of put it in the same, yeah, where'd you go? And what are you hiding
Right.
from?
Right.
If you come out and you tell the story, if it's the truth, what you're saying, then you shouldn't have anything to hide from. I mean, of course, there's always going to be people that would give her a hard time, of course. But
Well,
I think if you didn't do
why not-
anything and you weren't involved and you didn't have anything sneaky or, shady going on, you would come out and tell your story and
Well,
be
why
done
not
with
take a
it.
polygraph? That's my I mean, why not take a polygraph? I know that they're not always accurate, whatever, but maybe that would shut people up. I don't know. I agree in that deleting, hiding, and lying doesn't make you look good.
No, it doesn't. And
No, but she
she's
already
got a
planned on
lawyer.
that.
She's got a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, I think that lawyer is Vanessa. What type of lawyer was that she had for her Denver Post interview?
Defamation of character. I believe libel, defamation of character.
Libel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
So not like a
Which-
defense attorney.
Right.
yeah.
But she
Well,
knew
and-
right off the bat. She knew in those interviews, I'm going to have to basically go into hiding for like 5 years. I'm not going to be able to get a job, and I'm not going to be able to show my face. I'm not,
But one
like,
thing, Teresa, that bothers
criminal
me.
history. You know this kind of stuff. Like Amber Frey doesn't know that. She just goes out and was like, "Hey, this is what happened."
Yeah, speaking of Amber Fry, I wanted to say that
Mhm.
her Google of how much Amber Fry made on a book deal or whatever.
Yeah, that's quite a bit after that
That's
weekend.
after, right? But
Right.
all of
Mhm.
this, pops in my head, and I'm, piecing everything I know, and I think about this stuff, and it's just like, I think about her coming out with her story. Is this her plan to make it all that more intriguing when she does? I don't know. Who knows what's
I
going
know.
through this chick's mind?
I don't know, but what's disgusting to me is that it was Googled 3 days after the girls were pulled out of the tanks. That's where
God.
her mind was. Okay,
Yep.
that's
How
what
much
she was
money can
thinking
I make
about.
off of this?
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, they haven't even been. It was 2 days after their autopsies, and that's where her head's at. What can I make off of this? I think that says a lot, right there.
Absolutely, it does. That's a good point. Did you guys want me to pull up this page of Discovery?
Oh yeah. That goes with let's see. So we did that, and then I guess we did when they went to San Diego, right, Teresa? They went to San Diego the 22nd to the 26th, right?
Right,
And
and
then they came back.
Yep, comes back. Then she leaves for North Carolina. He meets up with NK at the park on the 26th, and then the 27th. I think we talked about this on part 1. He goes to her house. That's where she's Googling the expiration dates of the condoms.
Right.
And then the 29th, she leaves for her camping trip. And then Jay and I read those text messages between the two of them where she says she doesn't care and asks if we are bad people.
Right.
What is your theory on the condoms?
My theory on the condoms is that he had told her that Shanann was pregnant and that it was an accident.
Yep.
And they used condoms. And he doesn't know how it happened because it was like a one-time deal. It was, she liked to use condoms. And what did NK say?
Because she
doesn't like
wasn't
to get
messy.
Get messy.
Yeah, so he used the condom. She she got pregnant. So she says, "Hey, bring me these boxes of condoms that you use and let's check it out." And is checking to see if there's any recalls or manufacturer, notes saying, don't use this batch or, whatever.
So she was already questioning his story.
I believe so, yes.
I mean, that's proof that she was questioning what Chris was telling her.
Right. I cannot figure out. I mean, there's an expiration, an expiration date on the box of condoms. So if she wanted to know when they expired, she could have just read the box. But she said,
box.
But isn't it funny?
Shows me that she said in her notes, it showed her when that they were manufactured at a certain time period. So she would know when he had to have bought them was in between this time and this time.
Okay, but isn't it funny that she would need to go to those lengths to to kind of figure out his story? If she had seen his social media or her social media, she would have seen all of these, togetherness pictures, the Father's Day thing. Wouldn't she be questioning him about that? I mean, why wouldn't she? She has that for proof, right? I mean, I'm looking at it from my point of view. Like, if I saw these posts, I'd be like, well, dude, this surely doesn't look like you're separated. Like, what's up? I
mean,
wouldn't.
so at this point, can we go ahead and assume that she, knew the whole time that they were in fact married? I mean, I feel like everything that we've talked about kind of shows that she
Yeah.
did know that they were married, that they weren't splitting up. She seems like a woman who feels threatened by a marriage.
Right,
Like, at
because
this
she would have
point,
brought up the social media posts, is what I'm saying. That's the most obvious sign that this guy is not really separated. So,
Right, which is why the day before at the
feels that
park,
way.
he's telling her, I am splitting up with her.
Mhm.
We're
okay.
splitting up. She's leaving for North Carolina. We're splitting up.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then she invites him over the next day, brings the condoms. She can search him to see that it was just an accident. He doesn't know how it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a way to start off a relationship. I have got to search the condom box for the.
Well, and we get, and
God,
that's
I
funny
wouldn't
enough.
even.
I mean, that's not a good start. But,
You
I
know
mean,
what's
if you're-
crazy, you
if you're a
guys?
person,
I'm a good like searcher, like digging for shit. That's something that I would have never thought of, was searching
Me
up
either.
the condoms in his house.
Yeah.
And where were those condoms stored that she got her mitts on them?
He brought him to her house.
Oh, he brought them to her house to use them with her.
Or to show her one way or the other. That's why I said if he brought him there to use them and she wanted to make sure they were still good, wouldn't she just look at the box and see the expiration date and go, okay, let's move on? Why Google them?
Right.
So Googling to me means that she needed more information about them.
What exactly did she Google on the condoms? Do we know like exactly what it said?
Yeah. Wait, you know that picture you just had up? It was
Yeah.
the discovery. I think it's on there. The one that says 627. She writes down what she looked up on the
Oh, okay. Let me see.
and I think
And
it's
it's funny.
84.
She writes that in her own notes that she gives to the detectives because she knows they're going to find the
Not
Google
that one.
search. So she's like, I got to put this out there. Like,
It's
so she
one
has
of
to have an
those.
explanation for it.
I'm skimming through right now.
Perfect. Oh, yep, there it is.
Oh, yeah. Here's the answer to my question. Okay. So late March, early April was when he said that they had decided to separate.
Yeah, that
Okay.
time frame is really important to her. March, April.
Yeah, it's weird.
It
It's
is,
weird
and I
how
think
much March, April comes up in this case.
yeah, I know. It's extremely important time frame to her. It's in discovery multiple times that she
And that was the
must get
time
that.
frame that Shanann got pregnant too. She
Mhm.
She
would
would
have
have gotten pregnant
conceived.
right at the
Yeah.
beginning of May. She would have got pregnant at the
Oh, the
beginning
beginning
of May.
of May, end of
Yeah.
April. It was right. Yeah, that New Orleans trip was right around that time, right?
Yeah, because that's a different controversy that I don't buy into because I see the dates of when she was due, and you can see the dates on her ultrasound pictures, so you can see when she conceived, which would have been the beginning of May.
But that is the time frame when she started working there. So it's almost, to me, it's like she's verifying that he had nothing to do with Shanann from the minute she hit Anadarko, which is weird if they didn't know each other, which I'm not saying they did, but it kind of seems like she wants to know that, yeah, the minute she started working there, they had nothing, they were done.
I asked Chris Watts if he used protection when he slept with her because he stated on an earlier date that he used condoms when they had sex. He told me that he had not used protection. I asked him if he was lying about his separation, and he said no. I asked him if he was actively trying to have a child with
That's the 14th.
Shanann Watts. Am I ahead of myself here?
Yeah, you're ahead of yourself
Yeah.
because that's like that's the big day of
Where
where
is the
he
other
says that
condom comment then? On the first
the condom
page?
is the very I think it's her first note on June
Let's see.
27th.
Oh, did I not send you the crap? Let's see.
Yeah, the very first page, like her first note on there is about talking to him about splitting
Oh,
up.
I see.
apart.
Okay, I got it. The one about they attempt to have sex 4 times that evening.
That's later still.
Okay, I don't
Y'all
have.
need to get organized.
I don't
This
have
is
any.
ridiculous.
I don't have
I'm
anything
so
before
sorry.
this.
I'm telling you, life has been rough with this whole COVID-19 stuff, man. I've got 2 elderly parents that try to sneak
Let
out
me
of
see
their
if I
house all
have
the
it.
time. and I have to go
They
lock
sneak
them back in
out?
there. They try to. Oh yeah, they try to.
Oh,
And
my
then that's when
dad
they
went
tell
to
me
the
like,
grocery store yesterday. I could have wrung his neck.
yeah, they try to
Further
tell
proof
me
it
like,
comes full circle.
oh yeah, my dad goes, oh, you know, I couldn't find any soap at the grocery store. I can't believe you found soap. And I'm like, what were you doing at the grocery store even looking for soap? He's like, oh, that was a few days ago. I don't know. That was and I'm like, like, stay in the damn house.
Busted.
Yeah, busted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're
I'm
the
not only
most uncompliant too.
I know. I'm like, I have 3 children at home, and my husband, who is, working from home all the time, and then my 2 elderly parents that want to try to sneak out all the time. I'm just like, I'm not organized. This is probably the most unorganized I've ever been in my life.
All right, I've got it up now. I have it.
I was gonna say I will find it because I have it.
June, what day?
27th.
Oh, I found it. You have it though?
I thought I did. I guess that's not the right one.
I'm messaging it to you.
Okay.
There you go.
We'll get it together one way or another.
Oh yeah, this
Bear
goes
with
into
us.
detail about the condoms.
Right.
Oh, cool. All right. Here we go. Let me see if I can blow this up so everybody can see it. It's so small.
I'm going to try to get back on the live stream.
Okay. Chris Watts brings condoms to my house. One box is full and unopened. The second is a set of condoms from a partially used box. Now, why wouldn't he just bring the full box? What a dum-dum. I asked Chris Watts why he has a set of partially used condoms. Chris Watts informs me that the condoms he has are from back when he was still having sex with his wife. Told me they had been sitting in a closet collecting dust and that Shanann probably did not even know they were still there. Asked him why him and Shanann use condoms. Chris informed me that Shanann didn't like to get messy. I was curious, so I looked up the expiration date on the condoms and noted that the unopened set expired in late 2022 and the opened set expired in early 2023. I looked up the lifespan of an unopened condom and discovered it is approximately 5 years. Based on my research, I assume these condoms were manufactured in late 2017 and early 2018. So what was she trying to prove?
That right?
I mean,
that's why I think she's trying to prove that there's an issue with this batch of condoms, which is how his wife got pregnant.
Unbelievable.
Now, does it say that? No. I mean, but can you figure out any other reason she'd have to go this far into depth of a Google to find an expiration of a condom? Because it's printed on every little package in every box.
And then based on her research, she figured out the manufacture date.
Right?
Who does that?
But she's not looking them up, right? Like she doesn't research things. She's not looking them up. This girl clearly doesn't miss much.
No. Okay, what's next on the agenda?
Oh, let me go back to that.
After the condoms, let's see. Well,
okay, so we did the whole, she leaves and she talks to her friend Brittany and does the email. So we talk about that. And then you've got more photos of Shanann posting things about being pregnant still consistently from the 2nd, again on the 3rd. I think I sent you those photos.
Oh, I have the baby belly picture. These were just, for some reason, they don't scroll in order for me. But there's the one of Bella on her mama.
Oh, yeah. Aww. Says it's my baby.
So
she's rubbing her baby.
Well, the first time we get like a little, I don't know, glimpse, Teresa and I were talking about this earlier today, of the pressure cooker that Chris was in, but also like that NK wasn't all cool, calm, and collected like she said she was on July 3rd. Because he spent the night there and he woke up to a bunch of texts or missed calls from Shanann, and she was pissed, and Chris freaked out and told NK he was going to leave because she was mad, and NK got mad at him for leaving to go home because she wanted him to. So he was basically in trouble with both, Shanann and NK.
Yeah, he was in the doghouse.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much with both.
you can start to think he's got these two women that are now just pissed off at him.
Yeah.
Mhm. Then he got a real feel for what it's like to have an affair. You just have
Right, which is
double
only like
trouble.
a week. Which
Dude,
is
it's
only like
double
a week or
trouble.
so after the
Well,
first
I mean,
time they have sex.
I was gonna say, haven't they had sex like twice at this point? I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, if they're doing it 3 to 5 times a day, and they've done
Oh,
Yeah,
it
they have
3 days, and
multiple
they're about 15
sessions.
times, right?
That dude was
okay.
But I
trying
mean,
to
still, you're
keep
talking
up.
like a week in, and she's already super pissed at him for going home about his wife, and it's because he had told her they're splitting up. So she's like, if you're splitting up, then what the hell does it matter?
Mm-hmm. I would have been the same way. I would have been like, what the hell?
Right. So but she's knowing like he's not telling me the truth. So she has to research everything he says.
Yeah. So do
And
we feel
then
sorry for her?
No, I don't.
I mean, do
feel
we
like
feel sorry
I
for
feel
her?
like I feel like she did enough research that she knew exactly what she was doing.
So you don't think she was a victim of Chris?
No, I do not believe she was
hell
a victim.
no.
No, I do not believe that Chris was a victim of her either, though. So I don't want to put it out there saying like I don't think that she's a victim because I don't think either one of them. I think that their combination was obviously lethal.
I agree.
I want to say this picture of Shanann is probably one of the prettiest pictures I've seen of her. Her
She
eyes
does
look
look
her eyes
yeah.
look gorgeous. Like when I pulled that picture up, I was like, whoa, look at her eyes. Really pretty.
Yeah, it is.
Another post where she's talking about being pregnant
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and how far along she is. So she knows it. So even if he tried to say, hey, we didn't have sex since March, April, she's further along. Even if he tries that route of the lie, no,
Yeah,
here it is.
she's got it down to 9.5 weeks. She knows
Yeah.
when she got pregnant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. You might have some more pictures like that too. Just some other posts. Once again, it's just reiterating the fact that she's constantly posting about this. We
Right.
know that NK is searching their Facebooks, as we'll find out later on too. I mean, it specifically says in Discovery that she's searching their Facebook accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that. Then you've got, I think there's there's another, there Bojangles. That's another one she's pregnant. She's saying that baby Watts wanted Bojangles. Sorry, Chris.
Oh yeah, sorry, Chris. Baby wanted it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was excited.
Yeah. And then there's I mean, like once again, like I said, it's so many posts just regarding the fact that she is very, very pregnant all over Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder when, do you guys know when she planned this trip? Like when she booked the flights and said, hey, we're going to North Carolina. Was there like a post or anything about her planning this trip or anything?
She did. She put up a couple Facebook lives and about her planning. I honestly don't want to say a date though, because I don't know it off the top of my head. But I know it was well before her San Diego trip because she's talking about going to San Diego, going to North Carolina, going to Arizona. Like all that was her whole summer was like planned out
And how much
set.
energy she has to do it all.
Right. I just don't remember the dates to it, but I know it was before San Diego because San Diego's included in that trip or in that her criteria of everything she's doing.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this post of her saying like her to-do list. And I wonder, when Chris Watts told Nicole that she was going to be leaving for 6 weeks. Like how far in advance was this trip planned?
Yeah,
I want to know she wanted to be able. Yeah, she wanted to be able to. I remember reading something about her wanting to go spend time with her family before she was too pregnant to fly.
Right.
But I don't remember.
I just wonder when NK found out, hey, I'm going to have this guy for 6 weeks. All to myself.
Right.
Hey, sorry, I was getting a kid squared away. I hope I didn't miss anything.
We're just still going through like just
were
showing that NK would have seen that there's a baby on the way, a baby Watts on the way.
Yeah.
Oh my! I mean, with everybody else, I mean, her posts were very, very public. How would you miss that? and she knew
Right.
her name, and there's no mistaking it. I mean, her name was spelled so uniquely that like you wouldn't miss out on the fact that that is
His wife.
Shanann
Yeah.
Watts. Yeah, I mean,
Well, she knew how to spell
I've
it back in,
never
September of 2017. So I think she probably still remembered
Right.
how to spell it.
She
right,
just didn't know how to
right.
say it.
She didn't know how to say it.
But even
Right.
yeah, even still, I mean, how do you? I don't know. How do you miss that? How do you most definitely 100% Google the guy that you're about to embark it. And I've been with the same man for 12 years now. So, um, I mean, even I like Googled him in the beginning, and here we are in the dating pool now. Like, I would not only Google a person, I would pay like to have the background checks done. Like, cause you can do that now. Like, I would do all of that just to make sure that the person I'm interested in is legit. So she had to have known. But we're
Yeah.
not still debating that, right?
No, I think we pretty much have come to the conclusion that she had to have known. We have
Right.
proof that she Googled them. She looked at their social media, and how could she not see these posts?
Right.
So
So
what's next then?
let's just say we could say she didn't see them. We could say that, but then you go into, and Vanessa's got a whole bunch of info on the 14th, and there's no way around this.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know. You want to go on to? You want to start on the 14th?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay. Let me get there. Let's see.
Let me get there too.
I think I had the discovery. I think I did get that one to you.
You did. You got me everything. Okay, so where it says in person, is that it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
So if you're in our group or on our Patreon or whatever, I think I didn't even realize till today I made like 5 videos on this day, but it's we think it's possibly the catalyst to the murders. Because both Chris and NK say that in Discovery that they had a fight on the 14th and that their relationship was never the same afterwards. And since they never spoke after after he was arrested, I mean, they did speak after the murders, but after his arrest, but both of them brought it up as a huge day in Discovery and went into it. And we have found out some more information since then. And so I don't know, I guess do you want me to just like walk you through what we think happened that day?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a Saturday and NK comes over to their house in the morning and picks Chris up to go to the Shelby Mustang Museum in Boulder, which is like 30 minutes away from Frederick. So she pings there, by the way, which is one of the only 3 times she pings because she picks him up at his house. And then they spend like an hour, I think, at the museum taking pics of the cars, and those are in Discovery too. And Shanann's trying to call Chris. He's declining her calls. And then they get back to the house. Teresa, I think we estimated they got back around like 12:30 p.m., right? Back to their
12,
house.
12:30. Mm-hmm. Back to the Watts house.
And then, right. So they're back at Chris's house, and at like 12:30 p.m., Shanann's still blowing up his phone. He's still declining the calls. And she tells investigators that she was there at the house for like 15 minutes. She was there for like 3 hours. So that's a huge lie on her part. And you can tell by her phone pings that she was there for 3 hours. So they're going to go out to lunch. Chris is Googling places to eat. And then she's walking through the house, just basically taking a tour of everything. And she's the one who admits, this isn't just me, speculating. She goes in the basement, she looks around, she goes upstairs, follows Dieter up there, whatever. And she looks in the girls' rooms and the playroom. And she does tell Agent Kobach that specifically that she never went in the bedroom. And come on, we know that she went into the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
But she makes it a point to say that she didn't, which you don't really know why she made it a point, if it just looked bad or what. Um, but then when basically both of them say she comes down the stairs completely pissed off and they get in a fight, but she doesn't really say why, and neither does he. So we've always thought that there was something upstairs that set her off and made her lose her temper, but we didn't know what we thought it was until like this week. Um,
Well, I think she
but
mentioned something about like she saw a picture of Shanann with the girls and was like why wouldn't you
yeah.
want to why wouldn't you want to save your marriage and whatever she comes up with.
Oh yeah, because her account always makes her look good. So in her version, she saw this beautiful picture of Shanann, and Shanann was so beautiful, and the kids were so beautiful that she comes downstairs like, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to give up this beautiful wife and kids or whatever? But that isn't what happened.
I
Because
feel
if you
like
listen,
that's more manipulation, more
yeah.
so than let me, I feel like there was a lot of manipulation there. Just my opinion. Carry on. Sorry.
Oh no,
No,
I
you're good.
agree. I agree. And then one of our members, Monica, sent us this picture this week, and it's in Discovery, and we've seen it a million times, but I just never noticed it. And well, first I'll mention that Shanann did post a picture of a baby outfit on Facebook that day on July 14th, and it looks like a baby boy outfit, but it's supposed to be unisex.
I think you have that,
And
Jay.
yeah,
Did she leave us?
Who, me?
no, not
Yeah, you. I think you have the picture of the little onesie.
Yes, I do. Let me. My God, of course it's all the way at the other end. Oops. That's saved for Troll the Trolls night.
Where the heck did you go?
Oh God, yeah, that's what that.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's in there.
That's okay. I was like, ooh,
where is it?
You had it up earlier, so I know it's
there
in there.
It is. Yeah, there it is.
So she had a picture up, or she posted a picture of a baby's outfit, and a lot of people thought, well, that she must have seen that on Facebook. There it is. But Teresa looked up the time, and actually, this was posted late in the afternoon after NK would have left their house. So it wasn't that caused the fight, but our member Monica sent us a picture, and basically, and I did send this to you, on their dresser is that framed picture of the ultrasound from June 19th. And we were able to verify Chris did not know that that picture was there. He was busy. He had a lot going on at that time. He didn't know that, and she had been staying at NK's. So he had no idea that was on the dresser. And what we think happened was she saw that picture with the date and came downstairs, and the fight started.
You have that one too, Jay. It's like the picture of the dresser.
Yeah, with the photo.
Right. I don't know if you can zoom in on that photo at all, but
Well, you sent two. One was more close up.
I sent one. I think one because it had the caption. Oh, no, I think that was a different one. That was the ultrasound pic. I think I sent two of. No, the one with the dresser.
And there's like.
So
yeah, I
Megan,
got it right here.
I see in comments, Megan, she didn't find out the sex of the baby. She actually tells her friends she bought it because it's unisex. I mean, we see it and we see it clearly looks more like a boy outfit, but according to Shanann, it was a unisex outfit, so that's why she bought it.
Right. I'm sure they carried pink. They always have pink in those.
Maybe she just had that gut feeling.
Thinking, Yeah, wishful thinking.
I knew all three of mine, so maybe she just had the thought that she knew. I knew all three of mine before they ever told me.
Okay, so what am I looking at on the dresser?
You would not buy pink for, I mean, in most cases, you wouldn't buy the pink if you didn't know yet. But the blue would be totally. I had a boy. I had lots of boys' clothes for my one and only girl when she was baby.
I would be more. Yeah, you'd be more prone to put your girl in baby blue. You're not going to put your boy in pink. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, some of us. Yeah.
Right, so
um,
that picture
So
right there on the dresser, on the nightstand or whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
that's a framed picture that says "coming soon"
Right. And it has the
and
date
all
and all that stuff on it. hmm
Okay,
it has
here's
the
the
ultrasound
close-up.
pic on it.
Let me zoom in on that.
Amanda, we did consider the time difference. In fact, Teresa spent a lot of time on the time difference. So yeah, with the time difference, she would not have been there for that post.
Yeah, I had to spend a lot of time on the time difference when it comes to Facebook, and then my husband decides to come in and just tell me how it would be, and then I had to research it still. And of course, he was right, and I could have just listened, but no, I still had to spend hours figuring it out myself.
That's a good question. But yeah, we did take that into account. hmm Um, so that is, and to me that makes
That
sense. And
shit was
especially,
all in her face.
oh
You know?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he probably would have moved it. He didn't know it was there.
Didn't pay attention.
So, mm-hmm.
He's hardly home throughout the month of July anyway.
Right.
Not like he's sleeping in that bedroom.
So that was
Yep.
the night he had to talk her off the ledge.
Yeah, because in her own discovery, she when she comes downstairs, she admits this. This isn't us saying this. She comes downstairs and starts quizzing him about when they were last intimate, what birth control they used, whether or not they were trying to have a baby or not. And then later, when they're asking her about it, she tries to play it off like, well, they were just fighting because of Shanann's pictures and stuff. But that doesn't fit in with the whole fight. Is like baby centered, and
Mhm.
it's about, so that's why that fits to us. um and she puts out in her own words that it was all about a baby, and that's the night she says, I wanted to be the one that had your son. And that
Mm-hmm.
really doesn't make any sense, fighting about anything else.
Mm.
And then
That's a pretty crazy statement to make so early on. Damn.
I agree.
Mm.
I mean,
if you think about it, go ahead.
could she have been could she have been revisiting something that was already aggravated?
Right. I think that, yeah, it
You
set
know,
her off. Like, this was supposed to be an accident, and now there's like all this,
well,
how is it an accident? You have
sometimes
a frame
whenever
about it, and there's all kinds
it's
of
a
posts
baby,
about it,
it's
and
a
she's
baby.
excited, and yeah, and I think it triggered her back into she originally said she didn't know Shanann was pregnant until she saw the news.
Right.
So
Right, but it's a
now
baby.
why
It's
in her
not
own
going
words,
away. So
right? So why in her own words does
I think it would be
go
safe
ahead.
to assume that they, sorry, girl. I think it
No,
would
you're
be safe
good.
to
No
assume
worries.
that they had multiple arguments. And I think that this was honestly sort of just a crutch to say, we had this argument on this day. And she could be totally telling the truth, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, like I said, it's a baby. It's not going away. They probably had, many arguments about this. This was probably a point of contention for them. Go ahead, Teresa. Sorry.
No, I was just saying. I don't even know what I was saying anymore, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna.
I have a
Well,
question.
Well, I do that to people.
I have a
Well,
do that to
don't fight
myself.
then.
I don't think that this was the first time. I don't think that this was her finding out that Shanann was pregnant. I think she already knew. I think this was her. Well, because there's a piece I just left out. Sorry. There's so much and there's stuff that we just kind of learned. But Chris did confirm that on that day, he admitted to NK that he and Shanann were trying to have a baby. So if he had been telling her it was an accident, he admitted that they were trying. So this set her off, and she went outside to the driveway and pouted and texted him mad for 30 minutes, and then he had to talk her off the ledge.
off the ledge.
Yeah, and she came in the house and got on the couch with them. And this is the point I made in my video, and this is something that sticks out to me. If she was that mad and he admits to her, yeah, and she knows all this stuff now, then what did he say to her laying on the couch that calmed her down and made everything okay again, and had her happy when she left there and had everything okay? To me, that doesn't make sense necessarily.
She was extremely, extremely intimidated by Shanann. And I think that she felt somewhat inferior. I mean, she didn't have the house, the kids,
Yeah,
none
I
of
mean,
that.
as a mistress, you're gonna feel
know,
that way, especially
so
if they're
like
still
I was
living
saying,
together.
Right. So it's a point of contention, obviously, but I have to agree here strongly. What on earth could you possibly have said at that point to make a person feel, to make a woman feel unthreatened by your beautiful wife, your two beautiful daughters, your beautiful house, and I'm sure she wasn't fully aware of any of the interworking. She wasn't necessarily I'm sorry, aware of all of the problems within their marriage and financial issues. She wasn't maybe privy to all of that at that point, is what I'm thinking. So to me, it's like, what could you say? What could you say if you take all of that off the table? What could you possibly say to make a woman stay at that point?
That's what I'm
That's
thinking
that's
because
where you guys come in, where I'm just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
well,
Well, I
because
have a
It makes so
question
much confusing.
about this whole time frame with San Diego. And my question is, do we know how he explained the San Diego trip to NK? Was any of
great
that ever
question.
talked about?
No,
Mm-mm.
not that I remember. Teresa, do you remember?
Nope. Mm-mm.
I wonder
But
what
I
he
mean,
told
to
her.
my knowledge,
I'm
from
separated, but
what
I'm going to San Diego with my wife. And then
Well,
we
that's
have
why I
the
think that he
lovey-dovey
really didn't.
photos, right?
Well, that's why I
it's
think he
my
really didn't.
understanding that the relationship was already started at that point. That's my understanding. It was
Well, I think they
already
were already
started at
talking
that
on the
point.
phone. I think they were talking on the phone, and that's when NK makes those references to, well, he would be in the basement,
But
and
why would a man who's separated go on a trip with his wife? It
well, I don't
makes
believe that he told her yet they were separated. She tells two different stories. She says the first one that they hadn't been intimate and they were separating, but then in her actual timeline, she turns in on September 4th. She says on the 26th is when Chris told her they were separating. So I think, which is the day they got back from San Diego.
No, they were already. My understanding is it was already going on
When in San Diego?
and
before. Like, it's my understanding that the feelings were swirling, and I don't know if the affair was, but it's my understanding that before San Diego, there was already some sort of establishment at that point.
So maybe when he dropped her number in his phone around June 14th.
I just know that
Okay.
that's my understanding, and
Well, the only
I
thing I
know,
can say
like,
is, go ahead.
sometimes it's hard because I always want to watch what I say, and I don't want to hurt the people I care about, and I don't want to give information I'm not allowed to give or anything like that. So I try to be very careful. So a lot of times when you hear me like just stumble on my words, it's because I'm just trying to get that out without hurting
but
anyone.
facts are facts. I mean,
Facts are
Well,
facts,
yeah, I mean, we do the
exactly.
same, but
And the
That's
the fact is that been it's sort of a known thing for some of us that that was already in effect before the San Diego trip, but it all happened so quick, So
mhm.
well,
it wouldn't
we know that he
I
be.
says
mean,
in
when
his
we
February.
say, wait a second. When we say it happened before San Diego, are we talking weeks? Are we talking months?
That's what I'm saying, is that I can't pin down like a date for you. Like I don't think that has been pinned down for anyone as far as a date where that goes.
It's
But I
just
do
been
know
that,
that it was
like,
before.
prior to San
It was
Diego.
before.
Well, I can pin down
Feelings
some dates for you.
Was it
there were
prior to New
feelings
Orleans?
before.
Was it prior to New Orleans? when
No,
she
I
went
do
by
not
herself?
believe that. Not to my knowledge.
So not
That's
that
not to
early.
say it didn't happen. To my knowledge, it has not been said. No,
Okay, let me pin down
at
some
that
dates
point.
for you.
Do it,
Go ahead.
Teresa.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
Do it. So he makes the statement in his February interview that he was so awkward in the recorded pregnancy reveal because he was thinking about NK. So we know that they were talking at work, at least by that point.
Mm-hmm.
He does not put her phone numbers into his work phone until June 14th. So when they start talking on the phone is June 14th. That's when they may have talked, before that. Don't get me wrong, but that's when it's established that they're actually communicating is from June 14th, which is before
I
San
agree
Diego.
100% with you
June,
saying
June
that's why he was
22nd.
so uncomfortable in that
Right.
video.
Well, we
Sure,
know
sorry.
from the coworkers said they saw them talking closely, around April. So we know that they were
And
already
your
having.
coworkers would know. Your coworkers see that stuff, and I've watched it. Like I've worked at places, and I've seen two people have an affair. It's undeniable. Like your coworkers,
Yeah, they know.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Even
So
if
I
you
think that
think they don't, they know.
they see them start to talk, and then we see, based on the actual documentation, that he puts the phone numbers into his work phone on the 14th. On June 22nd, they leave for San Diego, and he adds her personal cell phone number to his personal cell phone. So from that point, June 22nd in San Diego is when you can see the relationship go from the work phone to the personal phone. So, there are some dates you can see it happening. You can see she starts there March, April. They start to get cute and cozy at work. Ha ha ha. Things are fun. He gets his wife pregnant, and now he's like, oh crap, things have progressed, and I didn't quite realize that you were going to get pregnant so fast. And now he's progressing things with NK, and it's almost like he's in it's like a snowball effect at this point. It's all happening regardless if he wants it to or not.
Well, he did say that he felt guilty and thank you, Beth, for reminding me that when he found out Shanann was pregnant on the 29th of May because he was talking to a girl at work.
Right. So, we see some set dates, so we see how it progresses throughout time. And when they finally become intimate, closer to the beginning of the North Carolina trip when Shanann leaves.
Well, I think another piece, though, that I can't forget to say on July 14th is that in the second interview, when they went back up to Wisconsin to talk to him, he told investigators that he started planning the murders around the state. And if you line that up with her freaking out and him talking her down the ledge, that's what kind of sparks our thought process into maybe what was spoken about that night, or I don't know, wherever that conversation would have gone.
So when we say premeditated, we think that the beginning thought process of whatever his plan was came from this day. Her basically saying, hey, you've got to take care of this, whether it's take care of it as in, get a
You
divorce.
do what you have to do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how literal was it? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Interesting. All right, so where are we at now in the timeline as far as we're in July? Did you guys want to stop? Where are we cutting off part 2?
We have just a little bit more we'll go through, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay, what's the next? July 26th is the next screenshot I have.
Well, there's some things that happen after July 14th that kind of look like he's planning things in Discovery.
Okay,
and
where
since he
do I have that?
Let's see.
Probably not.
This is all figured out. Probably not.
If I don't, it's fine. If I had it, I was gonna pull it up.
On July 15th, the next day after their fight, he takes the photos of the basement and calls Vivint and talks to them for like 20 minutes, I believe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Vivint, I think I forgot something a little bit further back. I think it was like the 6th or something like that. So like July 6th. Was it July 5th? Maybe it's the 5th.
No, it's the 6th.
The 6th, yeah. So there's an issue with the garage door, and the sensor for the garage door. And so he's leaving every night in the Lexus and then coming home in the morning before he goes to work in the Lexus, which would be setting off that garage door. Shanann texts him and tells him he better contact Vivint before she flips out, which my thought process is that means the garage door is alerting her all night long as it's opening and closing. He says there's an issue with the sensor for the garage, and then he'll contact Vivint and have them fix it.
Hmm.
So just a little bit of a backstory on the Vivint. So then he ends up calling Vivint now, on the 15th.
Right.
I'm trying to see if I have that in Discovery on here. That's all
He
right.
might not, because I didn't have that. Like, he takes all the photos of the basement that day. He starts his calls with Vivint that day.
What do you guys make of the photo that was taken of the temperature in the refrigerator? And was that, do you guys remember, was that upstairs or was that like the downstairs fridge? Was there a fridge downstairs? Like I don't actually know the answers to those questions myself. What do you guys make of it though? It doesn't matter where it was, upstairs or downstairs necessarily, but what do you guys make of that? Like, why would that have been taken at that point? I mean,
If I remember correctly, there's a refrigerator and a freezer downstairs. Am I
I
remembering
thought
that?
so.
I don't want to put that out there as fact, because I honestly don't remember. There's definitely at least a refrigerator in the basement. I thought there was an upright freezer too, but I'd have to go
Right,
back and
because if
double
I
check. Maybe
don't,
somebody in chat knows.
if I don't know it as fact, then I'm not going to say that. So that's why I'm kind
Right,
of like
because
asking
there's
somebody
definitely a
else
refrigerator
does.
down there, and he definitely takes a picture of it. But he takes that picture on the 12th of August. He takes the
Okay.
picture of the temperature, and he also takes a picture of chicken.
So I mean, you can take a picture of food, so there's that. But just as far as like, why would he have, taken a picture of the temperature of the fridge? I wonder what that was about. I can't personally come to any conclusions about.
You want to know my
I
thought?
just wonder.
Really? You're gonna really
I
be
do,
disappointed
really.
you're gonna be disappointed in my thought process. I think there was probably something wrong with the refrigerator, and he took a temperature to see if the chicken was gonna be bad.
What?
Well, because he took the chicken out and if the temperature was off, then he's like, is my chicken still going to be okay if it's restored at this temperature? In my mind, I don't think too much about the temperature. I think it was really probably just crispy
Something
and crisp.
innocent.
I do.
You
I know
probably
a lot of people are like, well, he was going to put them down there. I've heard.
That's what I'm asking for.
I
Because I'm
don't.
like,
I
is that
don't
what he
have
was?
that thought. I don't. I just really think that he was like, oh crap, my chicken's not going to be any good, and probably was like,
Right. And
let me
so
go look
like
at this.
what's sad is that like he was able to pull that up probably on Reddit, like about meat. I do that all the time with like certain meats, like how long can they sit in the fridge, And
Right.
now
Is
he's
it
a
still
part
going to
of
be any
Reddit.
good?
Like he
I
has,
don't know.
yeah.
Maybe there's
Yeah.
more to it, and I'm just not like I've just never really gone into. I did at one time think that maybe there was supposed to be something about the freezer, and it maybe I don't know. I just really have not given it too much credence.
Okay, so here's what I will tell you is I agree 100%, but I just wanted to know because I've never asked you that. But yeah, I've always kind of felt like maybe because like in my fridge, my kids will randomly just like for whatever reason decide to turn that down, and then all of my ice melts, all the popsicles, all the ice cream gets off. So I've always kind of thought, maybe it was a situation like that. Didn't necessarily have to do with anything related to the murders. But I
Yeah,
wanted to know
I think
because
that there's
I've
going to be
seen a lot of
a lot of
different
things that are
conspiracies on it.
just regular. I mean, life is still happening at this point in time, so I don't think that everything has a deeper purpose. And I'm sure that people are going to think the same thing about some of the things that I see that do have a deeper purpose that match up with other things, and maybe the freezer temp could have some deep meaning that I just haven't wrapped my head around.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah. So, where are we at next with this? Like, where are we
at, Vanessa?
I mean,
we just were going through like what some of the things we saw that he was doing in Discovery, but basically, he goes out to Rogan and takes pictures of his new boots, takes some pictures of flowers, the oil tanks. on the 17th. I mean, he's doing just stuff every day that kind of looks. I don't know. Are we skipping over that, Teresa, about the
No, yeah,
calculator?
no, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got him, searching the diop Kaz a couple different times. Then you've got him taking photos out at Anadarko of flowers, and then the 17th, he goes out to the Survey site and takes photos of wildflowers on July 17th.
In the boots, he buys new boots because I don't know, he's probably going to need them afterwards. And then on July 18th, the next day, he starts using that fake calculator app and is taking all the pictures of her and putting naked pics of her in the bat. And
Yeah, he tucking those away.
yeah, and I was playing with that thing because I had to see how it worked. Of course.
Me too.
Yeah, you can call and text with that. Like you can also private search things up and.
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice that.
You have to pay for it, but it has.
That is so fun. I wonder how many downloads they had after that. that app probably had like thousands of downloads in one day. Everybody checking it out.
Oh, it's garbage now. Nobody's wife is falling for that at this point.
Well, no, Chris Watts ruined that. All these guys are like, what they're like, what the
single-handedly destroyed an app.
He did. Right. He destroyed a lot of things. And you're right. Let's add that app to one of them.
Right. Let me see that calculator. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I was playing with it. I didn't even know it did that. So,
before I date you, I need to check out your calculator app.
Your calculator. Because your phone comes with a calculator. You don't need no fancy one on your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we at now? Are we?
I think we're.
Are we at the wrap? You're at the point where you need a drink.
Kind of.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
You should have had one in the beginning, girlfriend.
I know. I did. I was late.
You've done great.
Water. I didn't get to come prepared.
Well, we wouldn't want what to happen to that girl in that video you sent me. She sent me the funniest video. Oh my God. It was kind of showing like, how nowadays we're all working at home and stuff. And all these people were on like a Zoom video conference. There was probably like 10 people at least. And they were all on video. And this girl got up and went to the bathroom. I don't know if she thought she turned her camera off or whatever, but she went pee. And
that was adorable.
All her coworkers were seeing her, and everybody's laughing. And the lady talking,
should not be embarrassed.
She's like, "What's happening? What's happening?" Because she can't see them, but they can all see each other. And she's like, "What's happening? What's happening?" They're like, and then you hear this guy go, "I saw nothing." And then they're like, "Just keep going."
Right?
They're like, "Just keep going."
The lady in the bottom right is just like, she's just like, "Hold on," and she cannot even talk. Because she's like, I want to support the fact that she just did this, but like I'm dying laughing. Like
it was so funny. That was great.
I posted it on my wall, and it's so funny if you watch it and then you go back and you look at each person's expression as it happens. Like it's too cute. I thought it was adorable personally. That's just
funny.
Me though.
I thought it was funny. So yeah, Vanessa, no worries. Don't bring water to the desk.
No, I learned how to pause and mute Zoom, so we're good.
She's moving on up.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, again, thank you guys for all of your deep research on this case and this discovery. It's awesome. I think that some really great points came out tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
And we're going to do part 3. We'll figure out when we're going to do that. We'll get together and figure that out and let everybody know.
It just gets better and better every time we do it.
It does.
A lot of tonight is about the minutia of just showing where her headspace would have been at. And
yeah, Shanann versus NK, like what was going on with both those women at the same time with the same man.
Right. So I think we'll lead into a lot of like the North Carolina trip and what happens when they come back, as I think that's where a lot of detail is. There's a lot of detail in that.
And I'm gonna dip out, but like I love all of you guys so dearly, and you guys have been great tonight. Lots of stuff to think about.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye, Mel.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Hmm.
Okay.
So
So part 2 or part 3, someone said ASAP. We'll do it as quick as these girls can. I mean, it's a lot. I know you said you got elderly parents and you're shopping for them and stuff. I feel for you. My dad is in Michigan, but my sister is doing that for him. And
Oh, thank gosh.
yeah. Yep. But he
Yeah,
called
well,
me
my
and
brother has been trying to take care of them, but he ended up having surgery.
oh boy.
Which was surprising that they actually did it during all of this, but they did. And so then he wasn't able to drive, and then so it's like it's just
It's a lot.
so
It
many
is, and it's
so many
stressful.
people, so little time.
Yeah, I hear you. But I appreciate all the work you guys put into, getting this thing together and
We
all of
appreciate
your.
you having us on and going through all of it.
I love
And
it.
see
I
how
love it. I
it's
love you
even
guys.
a nice refresher.
You guys answer my questions, and
Yeah.
I just, and I have all these new questions that are popping up as we go.
That's
So
how we always are.
yeah, so it's cool. I
We're
love
like,
it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you guys are great.
We appreciate you a
thank
lot,
you.
Jay.
Oh, I
Yeah, we
appreciate you
appreciate it.
guys. I'm so glad to have found another channel that is drama free and just want to do your thing. It's refreshing, and I'm so glad that I met you ladies. And I have to give it to Mel because she brought us together, and I think that you guys carry the same kind of values on your channel that I do on mine. So it's great. It's great to meet like-minded people.
Agreed.
Yes.
We
And
appreciate you, and we appreciate you having us on.
All right, and I appreciate all your listeners coming in here. They're awesome. You guys have the best subscribers. And I have the best
yeah,
subscribers. So together, look at that amazing group. I mean, everyone's been, for the most part, there hasn't been many trolls. So
No, I was going to say, I mean, even in chat, I think that they probably had to delete maybe 2 comments, and that
yeah, it
was
wasn't bad. And
no.
that's nice.
I love
And
that.
they're on it, so I love your wrenches.
Yeah, me too. All right. Well, thank you guys. Enjoy the
Thank
rest of your
you.
night.
All right, you too. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk to you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Well, guys, before I get off here, I just wanted to remind you, if you missed the very beginning of this video, you can go back and replay it. If you've ever heard of the Find a Killer box, I have a special right now that I can offer you guys for 20% off. You just use promo code J, and I'm going to put it in chat. It's also in the description of this video. It's a really cool game. You can play with a group of, I think, up to 6 at a time. It's really cool. It's actually like you're an actual detective. It's cool. So anyways, check that out. It'll give you guys something to do, something to take your mind off Rona and all of this craziness going on around us that we're not used to, and all this change. It can kind of put you back into just a regular way of thinking for a little bit. I've had fun playing it, and I think you guys will too. I think any true crime aficionado would love that game. Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you. I've been reading your comments. You always crack me up. But I hope everybody is healthy and staying home. Stay home. I can't stress enough how important it is right now for people to just stay put and stay home and find something to do and spend time with your family. I mean, take this time to, look at the person you live with. I know maybe sometimes you want to wring their neck, but really take this time to maybe have some cool conversations or play some games and whatever. I mean, that's what I'm doing. We're having conversations and deep conversations and things that you normally wouldn't take the time to do. Like Christy just said, reconnect. I hate talking on the phone. I really do. I even still do right now. I hate it. But Michelle Hill put it bluntly. She said, hashtag stay the fuck home. I mean, an essential is going to work, getting what you need, and going home. And I know that it feels like an eternity. It does, but think of all Think of all the elderly people that are very, very, it's very dangerous if they get sick. You know, my dad's 87 years old. He's staying home. He went to the store and we read him the Riot Act. But he said he wore gloves and used hand sanitizer and blah, blah, blah. But it's still, this is very contagious. And I want all of you to stay well. I want to come in here and I want to see all of you saying, I never got sick, you know. But if any of you are sick or you know anybody who's sick, I hope that, you know, they're recovering and they're on their way to getting better and healing. What else did I want to say? Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to order the box, the Hunt-A-Killer, we could make a group and we could play it. Faux show. Thank you, Crystal. I wish health, best health to all of your families as well. So I'm sure we could put together something. What do you say? We could do a Hunt-A-Killer group, J4J Hunt-A-Killer group. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So you get like all this stuff. I know this is kind of an extended commercial, but seriously, you get like actual case file stuff. So there's 6 boxes in an episode or in a series. So you have 6 boxes and each box is an episode and you go through all of the evidence and you know that you have things you have to figure out and then you can narrow down who it is. So again, I'll put the link in there. I believe it's, I don't know what it is per month. I think it's $30 a month. Don't quote me on that. But there you get 20% off. I think there's different ways to buy it. There's different ways to pay, but there is your link. And every time when you order, you know, if they're in the middle of a series, let's say they're sending out box 3, if you're just now ordering, they're going to start you with box 1. So you're not ever going to start in the middle and have to try to catch up or pick up, if that makes sense. Does anybody have any questions that maybe I can answer before I sign off here? But make sure you use that link and you use that promo code J if you're going to order. That'll get you your discount. So you get like, not only do you get all the evidence that's in the box, you also have videos and audios. My kids gave it to me for Christmas 2018 and ended last June, but I never did it. So you still have the boxes? They do different crimes. So each 6-month period of a crime, that's one series. Okay. Yeah, it would definitely give us something to do. Using our brains, taking our mind off this shit. Jason, I hope you stay soft. Safe. Oh my God. I don't know what I was just reading. Oh my God. I need to get the hell off here. The link isn't working. What do you mean? Let me try. Oh, I know why it's not working. Oh my gosh. Thank you for letting me know. It's just it's how I have it spaced out. Try it now. I did, Sarah. Dude, I had one drink while we were live and that comes out my mouth. I can't. The link that I just put in there is the correct one. Oh, Sarah, see, I'm totally sometimes ditzy. You might think I was like born a blonde. I wasn't. You know, Sarah, you know the ditzy stuff I've done. It's never on purpose. It's innocent, I swear. All right. If you guys wouldn't mind pasting that again one more time in the chat before we go. All right, cool. So why don't we get our boxes ordered and then we will reconvene in the J for Justice podcast group and we will figure out who's playing and who's not. And then we can see if we can make maybe a separate group for us to do this. This is going to keep us busy. I don't know, Cindy. Why don't you send me an email and tell me which ones you have? Will do, Sarah. Yeah, it's CJ. That's me sometimes. More than I'd like to admit, to be honest. But hey, you know what? That I am who I am, and it is what it is. All right, well, let's see what we can figure out with the group, and we will talk soon. I don't have anything coming up that I have to announce, but I just want to tell everybody, please stay healthy and stay home and take care of the elderly that you know that are around you. So, Sarah, I'm gonna kill you, girl. Oh boy. All right. Have a great night, you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Maybe I'll pop on and surprise you on the 411 channel one of these days. Everybody take care and have a good night.